Welcome to Open Veil, where I discuss a variety of concepts that expand your perception on reality while allowing you to enter into your infinite potential by simply liberating your mind to its possibilities. Do you dare to wander in the depth of my mind?
Hey everyone, and welcome to Open Veil. This is your host, Jasmine Grulon. And on today's interesting topic would be what I considered a true open veil topic. One that can resonate more with my big thinkers, those thinkers that like to step outside the box of possibilities of what is possible in our reality, in our creation, and our manifestations of self and that which we experience in our external reality. Because for one, the more we discover and learn and gain through experience that cultivates great wisdom, the more we realize that we know nothing at all. And I say that with the reassurance that when I thought I knew of a possibility, there has always been a much bigger possibility of something that in my human mind would be too big to completely fathom. And with that being said, it is one that I will bring into our awareness to illuminate those possibilities and comprehend how is it possible that we are indeed creating our own reality by that which we are projecting from what's happening within ourselves. Many may ask, how is this possible? Those that are not in resonance with this information or have done somewhat of research or have came in alignment with this information, this might be difficult for you to completely comprehend, so I'll give that as a disclaimer. But if you are willing to listen and expand your awareness and consciousness and open your mind just a little further, I do welcome you to listen on and see what is your take on what I will be discussing today. Bringing me into the topic that on today's discussion and epiphany at the same time, I'm going to discuss our reality and how is it that is more mental than we are aware of, and before anything else in the physical aspect of our external manifestation, it is always mental before anything else. So it's like mind over matter is really the saying that goes with this topic and discussion for today, because in order for us to perceive it or experience it in our reality, we have to first manifest it within our mental state, our mind, primarily the subconscious mind. The part of the mind that stores all the information through experiences, through beliefs, through the conditioning and culture and environments and any form of traumatic events that have taken place. All of these are stored through, I would say, the files of our subconscious mind that remain there as data for future reference, data for caution, data for red flags and alerts that we may experience in the future. So it serves us in many ways. Just like, for example, if you learn that fire can burn you through the experience of burning your finger as you went to attempt to touch that fire, your subconscious mind is now storing this information as danger, and to be cautious to never do that again. It will remind you of that experience. Therefore, in your own evolution and growth, you will know better than to do that again, because you know better, so you do better. Now, the same functionality functions for our personal experience through any personal or emotional events, an experience that may have taken place where we are wounded or scarred by an experience that makes us fear to do something again, whether that be in terms of relationships and not being able to trust someone because of an experience that we had in the past, that we were betrayed, for example. That remains in our subconscious mind as well as a warning, as our subconscious mind is only trying to protect us. And when we think of life in this way, it is truly serving us, but we also have to be conscious of what is being stored, what belief is being stored with that, and how is it possible that we can actually change and transmute those limiting beliefs so that we're not stuck in the loop of those fears and those experiences, that if we don't heal or transmute into something more empowering or something more liberating, we just remain in the loop cycle of the same experience over and over again until we do go back in that file in our subconscious mind, read through the file, and with our new level of perception and growth and evolution, we can easily perceive it with the new lens of perception, therefore no longer seeing it with the level of consciousness that we experience that experience, but rather one of wisdom and knowledge that knows that everything in life happens for us and not to us. Therefore, we remove, let's say, the victim mindset from an experience so that we can move forward and re-enter a relationship, let's say, without the baggage of the old experience hindering our happiness and true fulfillment and vulnerability and intimacy in the new relationship. So that is what healing and transmuting old into new energy is really about. Backtracking what you have stored in your subconscious mind so that you no longer experience the experience that's calling your attention. Now, I'm bringing this up because what we experience in our reality is but a projection or somewhat of a hologram of what's happening within ourselves, as this reality in this dimension allows us to become aware of what those beliefs are, those fears, those narratives that we chose to believe to be true. Because the more we know the self, the better we can understand why we are who we are, why we chose to be that way. Or is it not a choice? Is it just a response or a mechanism from our past experiences? Not one formula fits all. Everyone has their own unique experience as to why they chose to be who they are, as to why they have become who they are, and why they perceive life the way they do. For everyone has an experience that they hold dearly to them or not so dearly, and it continues to project in our reality as the projection of this. So I'm bringing the subconscious mind because the subconscious mind is the one we primarily have to focus in this realm of reality. In order for us to focus on our subconscious mind, we have to pay attention to what our subconscious mind is projecting. How is it projecting? Anything that we believe to be true is what will be manifesting in our reality. If you have accepted this story, this narrative, this experience, this tradition, this religion as truth, everything in your reality will project back to you that very belief. Doesn't matter what it is. One person can believe in ghosts and the other one does not believe in ghosts. Both individuals have reasons as to why one believes in it and one doesn't. It is all about how it was perceived in an event or an experience that has introduced or awakened them to a possibility or non-possibility of such thing. Because not every two people have the same perception, therefore not every two people experience the same reality. And we have to be very open-minded about this concept, because it allows us to better understand and get along with one another. For not anything is right or wrong, it just simply is. We have to step into the ability to accept that which is in all that we experience, because it is only there to teach us something, or to display something, or to bring something into our awareness. And that may come in a form of a trigger, a discomfort, an anxiety, a depression, a moment of happiness or bliss, because it is telling us where we are happy and where we are not. We have to follow those signals and pay attention to these alert systems or signals, because they are always telling us what's happening within ourselves. The better you feel, the more in that direction you must flow, because it resonates with where you want to be or who you are, based on your experiences and what you would rather be and do in your experience, in your existence of life. Once again, there is no right and there is no wrong. It just is. So when we learn to take experience for that very thing and experience, we remove the attachment and the expectation of what we believe something should be, and allow it to just simply be that which is supposed to be in our experience, because it is only there to show us and teach us something that we did not know prior to it, so that in that experience we gain a level of awareness that allows us the wisdom to know more of who we are as an individual essence that expresses itself through its own vibrational signature. So when we learn to flow with the melody of our own vibrational signature, we are in the resonance of the melody that awakens our truth. It is only when we step out of that resonance into the resonance of what is expected of us, what is expected in society, in our family, in our culture, and we step into the fears of what will people think, or what would happen to me, or everything can go wrong. We are only stepping away from the melody that is in perfect harmony for our truth. And that is how you know if you're going the right way or the wrong way for yourself, because only you know you the best, because only you experience the experience of your own reality based on how it affects you, based on your own senses, based on how you perceive it, and based on what it triggers within you when experiencing certain experiences. Now going back to the subconscious mind that is constantly communicating with us about what's happening within us, it is not to observe what's happening within your life and yourself as something of criticism and judgment, but rather one of an open mind that allows it to just be what it is, becoming aware of that very thing it is witnessing. Therefore, becoming the observer of your experience and no longer the unconscious reactor of it. No longer the victim of your experience, but now the creator of your experience. So, as you can see, playing the victim, you are giving your power away to everything outside of you, which is really what's within you. So by you playing that victim, you're only disempowering yourself. You're only assuming and creating the belief and perception that life is happening to you and not for you. Therefore, you're taking all the power of the possibility that you can actually co-create with your own existence once you play the game of that flow of awareness by observing what is affecting you and what's not. And once you jump into the flow of least resistance, it becomes easier to now co-create your reality, because now you know what you don't want to experience. Therefore, you know how to flow out of that into that very thing that you would prefer. And the reason for the contrast of the duality of the nature of this reality is because we won't know what we truly want unless we experience that which we don't want. We won't know what black is unless we experience the contrast of it. And by experiencing the white, we now know what black is. By experiencing the bad, we now know what's good. For us, as good or bad, once again, is subjective to the individual that's perceiving that experience based on who they are and who they decide to become. As there is no wrong or right. It is all a duality that is necessary for the creation of all manifestation, like the symbol of the yin-yang, in order for this manifestation of reality to even exist. The push and pull of our duality is necessary in order for the friction of the energies to power up the whole entire manifestation of our reality. So that's just the basics on that. Like I said, this might be difficult to understand for many people, but for those that get it, you get it. So once again, back to the reality that allows us to know what's happening within ourselves. It might be difficult to understand how that's possible, and this is a perfect metaphor that allows me to explain it through the experience of something that we all experience, or most of us, because everyone does, but most don't remember. And you see how they say you can read 100 books, but it's not until you experience something where you truly know what it means, because you have experienced the elements of emotions and thoughts and senses that allow you a full spectrum of experience. It is within this full spectrum of experience that allows you to feel alive, you being a energetic or / spiritual being having a temporary human experience. Because in our awareness on a higher scale, where we are not physical matter living within the physical aspect of our carbon body, right? We don't experience that full spectrum of alive or in physical living experience, like living organism. We are a living being because we are a spirit that is conscious, experiencing the human nature of the ego in this reality. That's why when we learn to balance both those aspects within ourselves, we enter into the power of ourselves, because we are now in the harmony and in the flow of who we truly are, and not the chaos of the internal battle that most of us have experienced, because we have not learned how to balance our full nature, because we have yet to accept our full nature, because we judge it and criticize it and have not entered into the state of true self-love, which allows us to fully accept and be our true essence and be okay with all that it is, without judgment, without criticism, just allowing it to be and express itself as the essence that it was meant to be. For we are all uniquely made with the variety of a vibrational signature, that signatures are very fingerprint of who we decided to be in this lifetime. So for you to step away of that, you're taking away of what you came here to do in the first place. And that's why there's so much internal chaos within you once you go away from it, because you want to keep up with the Joneses or keep up with the social norm of what is expected, or having the latest this and doing what you think and is perceived as something that's cool, when you're missing the whole point. So not to get so far off of the main topic of how our reality is created, When we think about this example I'm about to give, this should give you a complete and full breakdown of what that possibility is. So when we rest and we go into our dream state, and for those that wake up remembering your dream, when you are in the experience of this dream, it is a mental construct of your own mind within this dream. And that mental construct is being created through the perception, the beliefs, and what is happening within your subconscious mind. For the subconscious mind is the dark matter that creates the illusion of creation, like a fabric of pixelated energy that can come to be with the thoughts of your own mind, as you within that dream are the creator of your reality. And when we think about dream, let's just say we are only experiencing a dream within a dream every time we go to sleep, because once again, we are a mind that is creating our reality like a hologram being projected through the mental construct of our subconscious mind. So you see, it's an infinite continuation of the same thing over and over and over again. As fractal upon fractal upon fractal is a possibility of all of existence, through the multidimensional possibility that we truly are, as we are energy before we are anything else. We are energy experiencing ourselves through the fabrication of mind. All the infinite possibilities of everything that could be. And once you have liberated your mind outside of the box of this limiting factor, of this possibility, of this dimension, you will soon realize that there are more infinite possibilities of what you can experience throughout all time and space. For time is only illusion, as it is only a measurement of the time we are in the present moment. There's no such thing as past or future, only this now moment. And when we remain present in this now moment, we have more flexibility as to where we decide to be based on where we currently are in the present moment. For we are only energy, tuning ourselves to the frequency which best matches our mental state. The mental state that is fabricating the mental construct of our experience. Our experience that allows us to know the current frequency that we are holding as we experience our external reality and observe the channel we are currently on. So there are many reasons why we tune in and out of certain channels, and some may call this certain timelines, because it is through the experience of life where we learn certain lessons at certain levels of consciousness for certain purposes. As the more experience we have, the more we can expand our conscious awareness of more possibilities of creation. For we are co-creating every single second of our life, every single minute, every single week and day, year, whatever you want to say. It is we in our individual expression who are experiencing the own manifestation of our own beliefs. Whether those beliefs come with limiting beliefs, fears, insecurities, it is only an experience that is allowing you to see what you still have to work on, what you still have to process, what you still have to heal, what you still have to dissect, what you still have to understand. Giving you the free will. Do you want to continue this experience? Because if not, you're going to have to transmute this energy. And because reality is only an experience that allows us to manipulate energy, it is not to manipulate the energy or the free will of another, but that of our own. Because we are the co-creator of our reality. We can only control and change the world through the changes and the transformation that we create within ourselves. Because we can only experience that which is happening within ourselves. It is very funny how I've seen two individuals, let's say, have the same upbringing or the same experiences, but one chooses to perceive that very same experience completely different as opposed to the other. And some put the example of what was the story? Oh, it was two twins that had a drunk as a father, right? It was their choice to become who they chose to be in their upbringing, as the past cannot be changed, but only our present moment can be that which we make it to be. We are responsible for that. So it is very crucial in the process of co-creating that we take full accountability and responsibility for that which very thing that we are manifesting, because it is happening for an intention that we placed, or a lesson that we chose, or an experience that we needed to learn something else. Because life is always happening for you and never to you. We just have to learn how to search for the patterns that allow us the lessons so that we can gain the wisdom, so that we can move forward into the space, timeline, or manifestation that we truly desire in our creation. So going back to the story, they asked one twin, why is he a drunk? And his answer was, well, my father was a drunk. So that's all I know, and that's all I saw, and that's just who I am. The same question was asked to the other twin who wasn't a drunk. His answer was, well, I chose not to ever drink because my father was a drunk. I saw how that looked. I saw how it affected my family, and that's not what I wanted to be. So you see, we all have a choice. We make that decision because we have the free will of where we decide to be in our life based on the power that we want to give away or the power that we want to completely take. Because when you stop playing victim and you start stepping into your power and your awareness of knowing that you are in fact creating your reality, then you start to reflect back your life and you start perceiving things completely different. And instead of saying it's your fault, you start saying, okay, why did I manifest that? Why did I attract that? What purpose did that serve me? What did I learn from this? What intention did I place? And everything is going to be different for everyone. Because if my intention, for example, is to self-master myself, life is going to give me all of the opportunities that I will need to trigger me to the point where triggers don't affect me anymore. To make me stronger to the point that I never feel weak. To be betrayed to the point where I know how to read through the lines of my intuition. And it is not a journey for everyone, because with the intention to self-master yourself so that in your creation it is fully you and only you creating that reality for yourself, that intention will place many obstacles that if you are courageous enough, you'll be ready to withstand through the perseverance and endurance and fortitude that you will gain from those experiences. because it is maybe a predetermined intention that your soul made before it even came into this existence. That in this lifetime you would step into that self-mastery, so you already knew what you were going to step into. Let's say your intention on a soul level was to forgive, right? Maybe if you believe in past lifetimes, you maybe were unable to rise or step into your full potential or get into heaven for many religious people because your heart was too heavy. And your heart was too heavy because you were maybe unable to forgive those in those past lifetimes that betrayed you, that backstabbed you, that lied to you, that did something to you that you were unable to forgive. And maybe that has been a pattern in many past lifetimes where you were unable to forgive, and therefore you remained stuck in your own soul's evolution because you were unable to master your ability to forgive, or even let alone step into the level of forgiveness, because you had yet to see life with a different lens of perception. Because instead of seeing it with wisdom, you saw it as a victim. Instead of saying, what is this teaching me, you saw it as they're attacking me and they're doing this to me. So let's say your predetermined intention on a soul level was to learn how to forgive. Guess what? Life is going to give you every scenario where you're going to be placed in the position where you're going to have to forgive people to move forward. And if you don't forgive people, life is also going to give you the representation of how that is going to affect you on a soul level. Maybe it's going to come on a physical level. Maybe you'll, by not forgiving your past, you unfortunately get sick and create a sickness within you, when something that could have been avoided on a soul level, if you have learned to remember that you came here to forgive. But like I said, everything is different for everyone. Everybody has different intentions. Everybody's life is going to be different. Not everything is going to be for everyone, because everybody came with different missions, different intentions, different purposes for this very existence. Some just came to experience life, to know what it is to be alive on a physical plane. Therefore, their life might look easier to the outside observer, but that doesn't mean it is easier, because let's say that was only one life that they had here. They don't know what it is to be on earth, which is one of the hardest places to ever be. It's one of the hardest schools. So if you've never been to earth, the density that it is that you have to withstand by even being here on a soul that has never been here before might take a toll on them. They might feel homesick, or they might feel like they don't belong, or they might feel like it's too much pressure. It's too much. So they have suicidal thoughts and so on, because if you have not gained enough experience doing something, it is easier for you to be overwhelmed, right? And we know that through many experiences in our life. So I find it very intriguing when I see certain people or experiences that I personally experience that captivate my attention because of the emotional state that can be triggered by these experiences that are serving us. But it's like a puzzle piece that you have to discover or find out what it means. So we're constantly trying to say, okay, first we have to experience the experience fully through the emotional state. So we process it. We know what emotions are taking place, what triggers are taking place. And by becoming the observer, we now know, okay, this is triggering me because of this. This is affecting me because of this. This has resurfaced an emotion that I haven't felt in a very long time. The last time I remember feeling this, I was a teenager. And that emotion came from this experience. So I'm experiencing this again, which brings clarity that this particular experience has highlighted something that I have yet to process within me, right? So instead of looking at life like it's so hard and stuff, we have to look at it as an opportunity to learn more of who we are and why we are who we are. And we start to be more grateful for life being what it is, as it allows us to see that what's happening within us. And we no longer look at people outside of us as people that are against us or attacking us, or like, I don't know how to explain it, but like, it's harder to feel any animosity or hate or, I don't know, whatever those emotions are that people develop against others, because you start seeing how they are only another aspect of you being represented, or being the experience that's projected from me, as I am only projecting my beliefs onto them based on my assumptions when I am not observing. But when I become conscious, I'm only the observer of not only my experience, but everyone else's experience. Therefore, it's easier to remove all judgment, all criticism, because you learn to have more compassion. And with more compassion, it's easier to place yourself in other people's shoes. If let's say I too were to be in the same life path as them, or had the same experience, or we're all human in this reality. But before we're human, we're actually spiritual beings that are all coming from the same source, having individualized human experience. So in all reality, we start realizing that we are all one, just energy being divided so that we play out this illusion of separation, so that the full experience that is necessary for our spiritual growth is played out. Like actors in a movie, in order for the movie to be that which it is, and to allow the audience to experience the full spectrum of its expression, it needs all the characters, even the extras matter. Because if the streets look empty, it would take away from the experience altogether. So let's just say, going back to how we are the creator of our reality, let's just say that our consciousness is just this conscious awareness trying to experience all possibilities of its own imagination. All the possibilities of whatever comes up in its imaginations of what is possible, just in a blink of an eye, creating that very thing by the thought that it is able to imagine and visualize in its mind. And that thought, that is where we exist, within the mental construct of that very thought that our creator is thinking. So when you look at life like that, we are just simply a manifestation of the thoughts that our God creator is creating within its mind. And we only see this fragment of it, but when you open your limitations to all possibilities, you start seeing how vast and how possible the vastness of all impossible can be. And that's when it gets fun. And then it becomes more adventurous in the manifestation of this mental construct that we are all experiencing simultaneously in the now moment of present moment of now. It's a beautiful thing. So before I ramble anymore about this true open veil moment of discussing how our reality is created based on the mental construct, I invite you to ponder that thought and see how are you creating the construct of your reality, and what do you want to change? Because once you become aware of it, it's easy to transmute it and change it once you learn how to play your magic on it. So I'll leave you guys with that, and thank you for listening.